Okay, class. So as you can see, I've already got a file open in Tinkercad. If you don't have Tinkercad open, do that now and click Create New Design. If you need to pause, go ahead and pause the video. Okay, so we're going to get started. And as you guys know by now, the first thing I do when making a project in Tinkercad is I give it a name that helps me know what it is. So today we're going to do part one of a two-part video designing a medal that you're going to wear around your neck. So some sort of medal to represent that we are the Spurgeon Cougars. Okay? So this part is we're all going to do together, and then in the second video, I'm going to show you how to customize it and make it your own. So let's name this medal. Underscore and your name. I put name because you're going to put your name there. If let's do first name, last initial should be fine. Okay, now the next thing I do is I come down to edit grid in the lower left hand corner, sorry, lower right hand corner, and I click on edit grid. The pop-up window shows us that our units is being measured in millimeters. We want to work in inches. So we're going to update that grid. And the third thing that I always do when I'm getting started is I drag my ruler to the lower left-hand corner. This way we can keep track of our measurements and know how big the object is that we're designing. Okay, so I'm going to start out with a cylinder. Click and drag on the cylinder in basic shapes. The program should always open up that you're in basic shapes, but if you weren't, then you would click on here and find basic shapes. Okay? All right, so let's get this somewhere where it's convenient to work with. All this is just giving me details of how this is designed. We're going to leave that alone right now. It's 1 inch round. I think we want to make it a bit bigger than that. Let's go 2 inches on the x-axis, and now we'll come over to the left and do 2 inches on the y-axis. And it's 1 inch tall. That's way too tall, so we're going to make it, we'll do 1/8 of an inch tall. So that's 0.125. If you did 1.125 times 8, you'd get 1/8. You'd get 1 inch. It's 1/8 of an inch. Okay? Now, see? 1/8 of an inch. All right. Now, we've got our medallion. Now we need to find a cylinder shape. And I'm going to choose this one here. That's the curved cylinder shape. Okay. Now look, it gives us some interesting choices over here. Let's check these out. We're starting at 0.38 radius. And I'm assuming that that means from the center to the outer edge, okay, of the cylinder. So let's just scroll this and see what happens. Wow, it gets bigger, it gets smaller. Okay, I'm gonna make it, you know what, that's pretty good. 0.39 is fine. Or we could just go back to the arrow here and back and it's back to 0.38 where we started. Okay, now the tube, 0.12. That's how thick it is from the inside to the outside. So let's see if we can make this tube a little bit thinner, skinnier. Whoa, okay. I want to go about, let's try 0. See if we can get 0.7. Okay. Now, oh, my dimensions are big. Okay. Yeah, 0.38 is the radius. So see our, oh, and that must be to the inside because our diameter is more than double. Our diameter is 0.894. So I want to shrink this down a little bit. I'm just going to use this corner. I'm going to click and I'm going to scoot it in till it looks about the right size to me. That looks pretty good. I'm at 0. Let's just go 0.5 and 0.5. Okay. And now let's click and drag over both objects. Click on our alignment tool. Now if I center it, it's going to disappear inside of that. I don't want that. Let's try this one here. That brings it right to the edge. Let's center it here. And now let's click on the work plane. Now select just the brown disk. And I'm going to use my up arrow to move them apart. Now, they're both of 1/8 of an inch in thickness. Well, let's see what this thickness is. 1.4. Let's make that 0.125. Okay. Now they are the same thickness. Okay. So that little loop for our necklace looks like it's hanging onto that medallion pretty good. The last thing we need to do when we got it the way we want it is drag it here and we've selected both objects, so we're going to group them. Okay, and I can tell I grouped them because now they're the same color. Okay, so that's step 1. We're pretty much done. Let me go through that one more time. Grab a cylinder. Two inches on the x-axis. 2 inches on the y-axis. The z-axis, 0.125, 1/8 of an inch. Okay, and now I'm going to get that guy again. I'm going to drag him over here. I'm going to make 0.5 on the x-axis, 0.5 on the y-axis. And that 1/4 inch, I'm going to change it to 0.125 1/8 of an inch. Okay. Now the tube, I'm going to do a little skinnier. I'm going to do 0.7. And then I'll just drag this guy over. And let's select both. Align. I really don't have to align it the other way. What I'm going to do, just going to move this one over to it like that. Now, remember to click on both and group them. That's our metal. Now, tomorrow, we'll put an image on top of it that's going to customize it and make it your own. That's all for today.